another major player has decided to try its hand in getting into the handheld gaming market. Logitech has experience of releasing controllers, mice, and keyboards for PCs in the past, but now they've decided to see what impact they can have on the handheld gaming console world. So now a new handheld has hit the market and it's made its way into my hands. My name is Amy Vishwanatha and you are watching Techie Housewife. So let me introduce you the Logitech G-Cloud gaming handheld. Now this is not direct competition with Steam Deck or anything like that, but it is created to be a cloud-based gaming device. So if you have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate or nvidiagforce or steamlink, you should be able to enjoy your gaming libraries with the Logitech G-Cloud. This is an Android-based device, and based on its specs, it should be powerful enough to emulate locally. At least for $300, it better be a decent emulator because it's almost as expensive as a Switch OLED, and it's very close to the Steam Deck. This does have Snapdragon SD720G, which is the same processor used in some of the old Galaxy phones, such as A52 and A72. And I do have to admit, this is just a bit disappointing to me. I would rather have had the 800 series Snapdragon processor like Iron Odin base and Pro devices have, which base is actually closer to the same price point as Logitech G Cloud. It would definitely be more powerful, faster, and would be greater for high-end emulation. But since they are only targeting cloud gaming, I can understand why they did go that route. And I will discuss specs in a couple of minutes. But right now, I just want to jump into the unboxing and see what we have here. Okay, let's get this thing open here. It looks really good, but the only thing I'm concerned with is it didn't have anything like protecting the screen or the buttons or anything like that. But it was well packed in the box, so I don't think I'll be too worried about it. And it does have a screen protector on it already, so that's pretty cool. Let's take this out. Have a quick look at what we have here. And if you see, it just shows what we're going to have in there, but let's open it anyway. There's our USB-C charging cable. The paperwork. A nice little sticker. I feel like something else is stuck here. Yep. And our little power adapter. Let me just go over the specs. What we have here is Qualcomm Snapdragon 720G, which is SD720G, 8-core CPU up to 2.3 gigahertz, 64 gigs internal storage, and 4 gigs of RAM. The display is 1920 by 1080 FHD, IPS LCD, and we've already talked about that. 7-inch display, refresh rate 60 Hz, and it is touchscreen. This has the Wi-Fi 5, which I'm not sure why they did not go with 6. It would have been great to have that. Again, there's a few things they've done that I don't quite understand with this device. It has 5.1 Bluetooth. The battery should give us 12 hours of playtime. That's what they say. Expansion, we have the micro SD card. Operating system is Android 11 with Google mobile service. And of course we have those wonderful speakers, the stereo speakers. I absolutely love the speakers on this thing. So this is pretty sleek looking. The texture is not what I expected actually. It's not like super smooth as it looks. It has kind of a, almost like a grainy type of texture. So that could be pretty good in a sense that it doesn't feel like it's going to slide right off of your hand. So let me Let's take a look at the back here. You'll see the palm rests here are textured, and I think that will that allows a non-slip grip, so I think that's pretty cool. It looks like the trigger buttons and the shoulder buttons have that as well, which I actually like that because you can feel that difference. It's just, I think it's a nice addition. And on the front, you see we have our thumbsticks, D-pad, our buttons here, and it looks like start and select. Let me see. You will see we have dual speakers here. We have stereo sound. This is USB-C and the headphone jack, as well as our volume up and down. Then our power button, which slides over and back. And then we have our trusty SD card slot right there, which is pretty nice. And at first glance, it's pretty cool. It's very light, which I really like that. I like that it's smooth, but not like a really slick smooth. And it's also textured where it's needed to be textured. And it's super light. It fits perfectly in my hands. And the ergonomics combines with the lightness of the device and the battery life that we're supposed to get, which we're supposed to get 12 plus hours, is what I've heard, can actually make this device comfortable for long periods of gaming, is what I'm thinking. The size, I think, is pretty much perfect, especially combined with the weight. It's so lightweight. And the materials, they do feel a little cheaper than what I was expecting, but not to the point. I mean, it's pretty solid. It's just, maybe it's the way it's textured that makes it feel that way. But it feels really solid. And the screen looks really good. It's a 7-inch IPS LCD screen, and it's not underwhelming at all. And I'm happy to say it is touchscreen, and I think this is going to give you a nice, eye-pleasing experience. Okay, so I went through the setup pretty quickly, and so it's giving me the option. Do I want in tablet mode, which is classic Android tablet gaming experience, full screen navigation gesture supported, or do I want it in handheld mode? And it says gamers go here. And if you want this to be a handheld gaming console, that's what I would think you'd want to go with, but you may want that tablet mode. I'm going with the handheld mode. And welcome. And it looks like this is going to just tell us what everything is. You'll see right off the bat, we have Xbox Cloud Gaming, nvidiagforce Now, Xbox steamlink, and so on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a couple of games loaded on here, and I will be back. Okay, so I've gone through the setup and I'm waiting for a couple of games to download. So I just wanted to go ahead and show you the settings here. And it's pretty self-explanatory. Okay, so brightness is only on 4. Let's see. Okay, it's on adaptive. Let's just turn that off. And we have it on 7 now. It's pretty bright. So let's go back down through here. You have airplane mode, display, brightness, theme wallpaper, which they don't give that many here. That's the only wallpaper I have. Sound, it allows you to adjust some of that. Battery life, language, controller, so you can go in and actually remap your buttons. And you can check for system updates and those type of things. Pretty basic settings. And for now, I think I'm going to leave the brightness on 7, and we'll see how the battery life goes with that.
Don't ask them, what do we know? What I forgot is better than whatever they remember. Never mind.
The audio is amazing on this. Wow. So I thought I would try Asphalt 9 for us here. Man, that stereo sound is just awesome. The only thing a little wonky to me is the button here. You have the thumbstick, and then you have a button, and I keep hitting the thumbstick every time I want to touch that button. I think that might be a mistake having that there, actually. Or maybe the D-pad should have gone up here. The thumbstick should have gone down here. That was cool. It played very well. There is no hiccups at all. Very responsive. The thumbsticks, I have no issues with those. The buttons are easy to use. And I didn't really have to play with the D-pad. So right now I feel like it's playing great. A long time ago in a galaxy far away. It looks really good, actually. It's clean, it's clear, pretty crisp screen for what I've seen so far, especially playing with Asphalt 9. I forgot to mention it while I was playing. I was concentrating too hard. Yeah, it's like I thought. It's very eye-pleasing and crisp, clean, clear, beautiful colors. And I don't feel that it's really lacking anything when it comes to the screen. I think the screen is pretty great. Check that out. I absolutely love Star Wars, so this is pretty cool for me.
Come on, let's find Tekka's hut.
And here we go to chapter 1. The only thing I really don't care for is the D-pad right here, where your thumb kind of sits in it. There's like a dip there, and your thumb sits. It doesn't feel like a natural way to play with a D-pad for me. I feel like, it's weird. It's like your thumb is sitting in a little cradle. Actually, I would prefer the D-pad maybe to be up here, above where it is, and then the thumbstick to be down here. Also, if the D-pad was up here, it would be super easy to hit the start button there. So, something to think about, Logitech. Okay, now for some Xbox cloud gaming. Forza Horizon 5. One thing I would like to mention is I actually enjoy holding this more than I do holding the Steam Deck, and please do not hold that against me. It's just how it is, right? It's, for my hands, it's very comfortable.
Let's go. Look at all the buttons. I mean, not bad. Not bad. Show me what this thing can do.
Back on the road. Whoa. Oops. Okay, let's try Guardians of the Galaxy and see how that plays. The music in Guardians of the Galaxy is so cool. Oh, I'm in the middle of something. I've never played this.
I'm gonna get flooded. We've got bigger problems right now. It's gooey outside. Keeps regenerating.
We need to rack the spikes inside. Forget the jelly.
What's the spiky things?
At least those parts are vulnerable.
Okay, so I just wanted to put the OLED switch next to the Logitech G handheld so you could see them in their screens. The sizes are very comparable. The G Cloud is a bit wider, and you can see a little bit of a difference in the screens, whereas the OLED is much brighter. The colors are very contrasty. The IPS LCD on the Logitech G Cloud handheld, I think it looks beautiful. It does not lack in any way, shape, or form for me, especially when I was playing. It looked great. So I just wanted to compare with that. And also, I just want to give you a look next to Steam Deck so we can see the size. You can see the style is very similar, like the way it's made. But I somehow feel that I enjoy holding and playing the Logitech G Cloud gaming handheld. I'm not sure exactly why that is. I mean, I love my Steam Deck, but I think this feels like it's going to slip out of my hands a little more than this. And these are a little wider and bigger where your palms hold them, and you feel like you have a nice grip there. And I don't feel like I'm going to drop it, I guess. And I also like my hands being closer together, and I like the buttons being a little closer to the screen, and I like the D-pad being closer to the screen, whereas I'm not a big fan of the D-pad the way it's made, because I feel like there's a dip and my thumb is just sitting in that dip, and it's kind of awkward. So you can see a difference in the size of the device. I'm not sure about the D-pad. This also has a slight dip, but not as much as the Logitech G Cloud. So I just wanted to take a look at these side by side, let you see the difference in sizes and see the screens. I do feel that the screen for the Steam Deck is better. I think the Steam Deck all around is a much, much better device. And the price point for the Steam Deck is pretty amazing when you think of this being $300. I mean, what you get in a Steam Deck is way more. But again, I love this device, I think, for the ergonomics the most. It was very responsive. The buttons feel good. The triggers and the shoulder buttons are pretty good. I like the tension they have. They feel great. Oops. So aside from my thumb just feeling awkward in the D-pad itself works pretty good. It's not the greatest, and it's absolutely not the worst. So all in all, it's a pretty cool device. I do feel that this should be in a lesser price range. It has similarities to Retroid Pocket 3, and Retroid Pocket 3 was only $100. So I have some mixed feelings about this device. Obviously, you can probably tell that by the way I've been talking. I think it's kind of a love and confusion thing I have going on. It's a pretty cool, lightweight, ergonomically appealing handheld gaming console. But at the same time, I'm wondering why corners were cut when it comes to the processor and Wi-Fi. And I'm also thinking that this is $50 to $100 more than it really should be. And I think that is because the Logitech name is attached to it. The big question I would like to ask is, what does Logitech G Cloud bring to the table that others don't besides the name, especially at this price point? Just think, for only $54 more or so, you can actually get a Steam Deck, which gives multiple opportunities at your fingertips. I will say that I love the ergonomics of this more than I do of the Steam Deck, but is that worth that extra money? I don't really think so. Do I recommend this device? Well, in some ways, yes. And in some ways, I would tell you maybe to grab a Retroid Pocket 3 for $200 less, or even a Steam Deck, which is only going to be about $50 more or so. And it's becoming much more available now. So maybe Logitech might want to take a step back and rethink just a couple of things, or lower their price point slightly to make it more appealing. And I think actually, if they lower the price point a little bit, this will be so appealing. I really do think so. And that's pretty much my thoughts for this. I love this device, and at the same time, I'm really confused about some of the stuff they've done. And I'm just curious how many of you guys out there actually picked one of these up, and do you love it and hate it? Do you love it and are confused like me? Or is it the best thing ever for you? I do want to let you know that I will be doing some emulation on this device. That's going to be a separate video. I'm really looking forward to that. I hope that it works great. That is all I have for today. Thank you for joining me. If you like the video, please hit like. You can hit subscribe if you like. And also, don't forget, have a game-tastic day.